Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a full face of all of my favorite drugstore products from this year. So this year, I've tried quite a lot of new makeup products, and with that, I've definitely found some of my all-time favorite products. So keep in mind, I'm not sure the release dates of all of these products. I'm positive that pretty much most of these products did actually come out this year, but there are a few products that I actually discovered this year that could have came out like a couple years ago. But to the side of me over here, I have all of my products laid out, and we're just gonna be doing a full face showing you guys some of my favorite drugstore products. I know I've already done a video like this, but I just have so many favorite makeup products that I just want to show all of you. Of course, we're gonna be putting on my favorite headband. Also, you can see my under eyes are quite awful right now. They're definitely not looking the best they've looked. So this whole makeup routine is gonna get my face looking a lot better from how it looks right now. I have a couple of favorite drugstore primers that I've tried this year, two of which being the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. I didn't really like the one that was already in the pan. I really like the packaging of this, how it just kind of comes out as a liquid. And of course, this is a fan favorite, the Power Grip Primer from e.l.f. What I actually like to do with these is on the spots that my pores are way more visible and I have more texture on my skin, I grab the Poreless Putty Primer, put a little bit on my hand or finger, whatever, and just kind of smear it on the places, like I said, that needs a lot more evening out. I kind of focus it more on my cheeks as well, because this is where I find my pores are more visible. Just using this isn't enough for me, so I always go in with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. It has my makeup lasting all day long. I'll let the other one kind of sink into my skin for a minute, and then I'll just go ahead and put on the Power Grip one. I usually only do 2 squirts of it because using too much, I find that my skin kind of pills a lot more. So I only do a really thin, even coat around my whole face. And this primer is so tacky. It has your makeup literally sticking to your skin. That's why I love this stuff so much. And while the primer is kind of sinking into my skin, I will always go in with a hydrating lip balm. This, you guys are probably not going to be shocked, but of course, the e.l.f. Squeeze Me Lip Balms. I know that this came out this year. It came out pretty recently, actually, and this has to be one of my favorite lip balm releases, drugstore wise. Look how well it just hydrated my lips. My lips are a little crusty right now, which obviously with the weather and stuff, it's cold. It's kind of a given. And then after that, I will go in with concealer. But for this case, I will be going in with the L'Oreal True Match Nude. This is the hyaluronic tinted serum. And I just find that this gives such a nice layer of coverage on my skin. By no means is it full coverage. It's just meant to kind of even your skin out a little bit more. I'll go in. I'll only put a little bit. This kind of looks like a lot, but since it's so thin and I'm using a beauty blender to blend it out, it just gets a lot more thin. And it's just so pretty. It adds such a nice glow as well. And it's not that much of a crazy glow, which is what I prefer, honestly. I don't like too much of a dewy makeup look to a point where it looks wet. And this, I find it just gives a little life into my skin rather than that full glowy, dewy look that's been super popular this year. And it just looks so pretty. You guys can tell it has some high points where it's glowing, but it's also not too obnoxious. And then a concealer that really surprised me this year is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This is the pinker shade, and I know pink concealers were like in this year. I know that this concealer came out quite a while ago, but I'm sure the pink shade just came out recently, but correct me if I'm wrong. I put a little bit under my eyes. It's very thin. Sometimes I'll blend it with a brush, other times I'll blend it with a beauty blender. I wouldn't really go as far as to say it's a brightening concealer since this shade is pink, but since I do have a lot of pink undertones on my skin, it kind of just looks really nice. It covered up my under eyes. You can still kind of see them, but honestly not that much. So next I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes, and the powder I have been loving this year is the Halo Glow setting powder. I do not really see a lot of people talk about it, which is crazy because it's so good. So I'll put a little bit on the pan and I will grab a powder puff and just press it kind of hard into my under eye. It just blurred it. So nice. And I first off start by setting my under eyes, and then we'll get to the rest of the face a little bit later, but the under eyes I find for me crease the fastest if I don't set them. And yeah, it just set it so nicely. I love this powder so much. I also like the HD one by e.l.f. as well. But then after that, we're gonna get into bronzer. There weren't really a lot of liquid bronzers or contours, I guess, that I loved this year. I wouldn't say that this is drugstore. You get it from Sephora, but their makeup line is a lot more affordable, and I absolutely love the Sephora Bronzed. This bronzer is just so pretty. It leaves such a nice finish on my skin. So I'll go in with a brush, kind of tap into it. I'll start around the cheekbones right here. And one thing I like about powdered bronzers is you don't really have to be that exact because it'll look good either way. And I also got a really light shade as well because since it's winter, not looking tan whatsoever, so what is the point in getting a really bronzy shade? And another thing about this bronzer too, it's not too much of a drying powder. It's one of those bronzers where you don't really see the powder particles kind of sitting on top of the skin. It looks really natural. So now that my skin is lightly bronzed, I think it looks so good. I'm loving the look so far. I'll go in with a blush. I have been loving the NYX Sweet Cheek Matte Blush, but this blush is definitely one of my favorite shades for blush ever. I just love the darker shades. You guys know this at this point. And it's a very, very pigmented blush. Like you can already see. I just put a little bit on. You really only do need a little bit because a little bit goes a long way. And one thing I've been really into is blending my blush by the corner of my eye. I feel like it just shapes the face a lot better. And then I'll gradually bring that excess to this part of my cheeks. And it's just so pretty. And then I'll be really generous with the blush, honestly. I find that blush kind of just dies down as the day goes on. So I do put kind of a lot in the beginning, but trust me, it will go down. So now that the blush is on, we're gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna put the excess powder from the powder puff and kind of just blend the blush to the concealer a little more seamlessly so it doesn't look too much of a harsh line. Now that the skin is looking a little more matte, I have a couple of favorite setting sprays to show you guys. It is both of the Milani Make It Last setting sprays. I've actually used way more of the dewy one. It's probably up to here. Like I was saying, since this is more of a matte look, I will go in with this dewy setting spray and bring the dewiness back into my skin. I know it looks a little crazy, so what I do, I use my fan and dry it down. And you can see it just brought so much more of the dewiness back. Now we're gonna do brows, and are you guys even surprised at this point? This, I know, came out this year. I mean, I'm pretty sure actually, but it is the NYX Brow Glue. This is my go-to brow glue. It's just so good, keeps my brows in place all day. My brows are looking a little sparse and awful, but we don't talk about it. I was actually getting my nails done the other day, and the nail lady looks at me and goes, "Do you want to get your eyebrows fixed?" And I'm like, I mean, maybe now I do. And she kind of just called me out on it, which was like, whatever. But anyways, that was really funny. And it matches my brow hairs. And as for eyeshadow, I don't really do eyeshadow that much because I just don't really have time to do it, to be honest. I mean, sometimes I do, but most of the time I just do not. If I do want to do some eyeshadow, I'll go in with a bronzer and just a fluffy brush and kind of just bring some dimension into my eyes. It's nothing too crazy, but I do like a very natural eyeshadow look if I were to go for one. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of shimmer if I'm feeling kind of crazy for the day. Oh wow, my eyebrows do look really bad. She was not wrong about that. And actually, you know what? Another favorite eyebrow product that I have is the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. So for the sparse area of my eyebrows, I'll go in with this like felt tip NYX pen and kind of just draw fake hairs. This one doesn't really need too much, but this one, I have some just spots that are not growing hair right now for some reason. Anyways, next we're gonna do mascara. This is actually really funny because when I first tried the e.l.f. Lash and Roll, I didn't really think it was, I thought it was good. Not gonna lie, I thought it was a really good mascara, but it definitely wasn't my favorite until a couple weeks ago. This is definitely one of my favorite drugstore mascaras right now. I also absolutely love the wand. It's so thin, and if you guys know me, you know I love a thin wand, and it's just so lengthening. Oh my god, I love this mascara so much. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other eye off camera real quick. And it's just so pretty and so natural. It adds such a nice lengthening effect to my lashes. It's so pretty. And as far as drugstore highlighter goes, I didn't really find, again, anything that I loved too much. I do like the e.l.f. Halo Glow highlighter wand, but I do have a lot of powder right now, and if I put on this, it's liquid, so it'll definitely look a little funky. I have talked about the Revlon highlighter before, and I did say it was a good highlighter. Definitely not my favorite, but it's a pretty decent drugstore highlighter. I don't really go crazy with highlighter either. It's just something I find that I can just give or take. But I'll put a very light coat above the blush. You can see it did a little something. But if you guys like a super blinding highlighter, definitely would not recommend. But I mean, it's good. It does what it needs to do. And then to finish it off, you guys can already see that the lip balm, the e.l.f. Squeeze Me one, has lasted the duration of this whole makeup routine. You can still see it kind of on my lips. So one of my favorite lip products right now is the e.l.f. lip oil. It is a complete dupe for the Dior one. At this point, you don't even need to buy the Dior one because this is pretty much the exact same thing. I have the shade Rose Envy. I also have another shade which is more dark. I don't know why that took me a while, but I keep that one in my bag and this one I keep on my desk. And I'll just coat my lips with it. Again, very natural and something just very subtle to add to your lips, and it just looks so pretty. But yeah, this is the finished drugstore makeup look. These are all of my favorite drugstore makeup products of 2023, and this could pull off being high-end makeup and you wouldn't even know. It's just so pretty. I love this look so much. Every time I take off this headband, my hair, it surprises me. It looks so bad most of the time, but you know, we're just gonna work with it here. So natural. I love that there's glowy points in the skin too without it being too dewy or too matte. But overall, it's such a nice look. I definitely recommend all of these products right here, and I also love how affordable everything here is. We all know Sephora can get very, very pricey, so I of course love giving you guys cheaper options for makeup that also look just as good as high-end. But yeah, you guys, I really hope that you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my YouTube channel because that'll really help me out. Also, let me know in the comments any other brands you guys want me to try for a full face because I would definitely be open to doing that. But I love you all so, so much. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and I hope to see you guys all in my next video. Bye!